What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Forks Over Knives Live. I'm Corey, and I'm going to tell you why the heck I'm in this location. But first, I want to say hi to Steven. Steven, welcome, friend. How you doing?
Hello, everybody. Hello, Corey. I know why everyone is here. Why are you there?
All right, so I am in the middle of a convention center in Orlando, coming to you live from my car because my daughter is essentially a professional dancer, and she is competing at a national level at this conference. So as a dad, as any good dad would do, I have to be here to support her. So but we also, just like I have a commitment to my daughter and my family, I have a commitment to you guys. And so we want to be here as well and talk about some awesome food that you can have and talk about how, you know, the language of love can come through to you on this Valentine's Day in the form of a whole food plant-based diet. So Steven is going to be probably the majority of the time a bigger screen, and I'll show you what that's going to look like because
that's a lot of love right there, Corey.
I
appreciate that. And hello to everyone. Please say hello in the comments. Hello to you. We want to hear a hello back to you. That's a lot of the love that we are sharing over here.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Oh, Martina's here from Jacksonville. Ooh, right down the street from me.
Hey, Kerry from Australia.
Ooh, lots of people. We got some people from, more people from Australia. Holy cow. Oh, Kansas. All right, great. Okay. Let's get into this topic. What are we talking about here today, Steven? Because I think that with Valentine's Day coming up, for me, we're going to have some great recipes for you guys. Of course, we're going to share some great recipes.
Always.
In fact, the one at the end is going to blow your mind. So make sure you stay. We're going to run through a couple things. But, as I think about, I feel very lucky to be married. I've been married for 17 years. My wife and I have been on this plant-based journey together for, I want to say like 13 of those years. And so, and for anybody that doesn't know my story, my wife has ulcerative colitis. We changed our diet because of that. And, I think there's these 5 love languages. This book, the 5 love languages, is really great. And so I wanted to kind of talk about each one of those and kind of like walk through it while at the same time giving some great recipes. And we have a blog post that we want to send you to that's just going to hook you up for Valentine's Day. And kind of go from there. How does that sound, Steven? What do you think?
That sounds fantastic. I think listen, I'm a big Shakespeare guy. If music be the food of love, play on. In this case, we are making sure that it's whole food, plant-based. There is a lot of love. There is a lot of deliciousness to come with it. There is no reason that you cannot express your love languages with the abundance of whole plant foods.
Heck yeah. Well, we're going to go through the 5 love languages first, and we'll go one by one. We're going to be quick here, folks. We're not doing a long show today. We're here for you. And if you have any questions, of course, just put them in, and we will try to get to them as quickly as we can. So words of affirmation, words that you can say that are words that, you encourage, you love your partner, quality time, time together, acts of services. Sometimes I do the dishes, for my wife, and she does the dishes for me. Those are acts of service. Gifts. Pretty self-explanatory. And then, of course, we have physical touch. And physical touch, just like, putting your arm around someone, holding hands, even just like playing footsie. I mean, all those things are forms of physical touch. So as we think about words of affirmation and kind of encouraging our partners who are trying to embrace a whole food plant-based diet, but just might not be there yet, how does that, resonate for you, Steven? How do you get words of affirmation incorporated into the love language?
I think one of the things that we often talk about, Corey, is it's not about limiting, rejecting, even cutting out to that extent. It's what we bring into it, especially in terms of what is best for us, what makes us feel good, and positivity with that. So for anyone who's in your life who is going along their journey and struggling or resisting in certain areas, making sure that you can key into even those smallest little things that you're noticing. Maybe it's a partner who eats plant-based with you once a week. And of course, you may want them to eat plant-based with you more, but that one time a week was probably more than it was last week. And that means it can grow from there. So making sure that you are giving attention, you are giving credit and providing support with all of the little baby steps, trying this food, trying this meal, making something in the kitchen. Those words of positivity go a very, very long way. I can say for myself in my journey, I said many, many, many times, years and years and years ago, 15 plus years ago, I will never go vegan. I will never go plant-based. I said that many times, but it was the love, it was the positivity, it was the encouragement that eventually wooed me into learning more, feeling great, and going, why didn't I do this before?
Yeah, yeah, that's incredible. I think that as we think about those encouraging words and like really like helping our partner along the way, or even just a loved one in general, just like anyone you love, just approaching it with love and not judgment, and again, like anger, anything like that, it's always going to win in the end. Uh,
Absolutely. Yeah.
as we think about words of affirmation and kind of transitioning into quality time is as simple as like cooking a meal together. My
Yes.
wife and I, we call it like, would you be my sous chef? And so, maybe one of us has the idea and we're following the recipe from the Forks meal planner. And then, another person is like helping with cutting and prepping and, dicing the onions and stuff like that. What do you do for quality time together in the kitchen with your partner?
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where sometimes it's just the kitchen's mine or the kitchen is my wife's. Sometimes we're able to double team it, save time. Less time means less stress, which means a more enjoyable meal overall.
Yeah.
So I would say exactly what you said, and I love that almost sense of role playing in a way. Hey, I'm making the meal. I'm putting you on chopping duty over there. Put on some lovely music in the background. Have a nice ambiance overall, and then you can infuse love into cooking. Because listen, I love cooking. You love cooking.
I love it.
In kitchens, sometimes it can get a bit stressful.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we
I
can
can.
bring love and ease and that quality time in there. Also, when it comes to families, why not celebrate Valentine's Day together? Get the kids in there, of course, safely, not with too many sharp knives or anything like that. But how can they participate too? And all of a sudden, you have the whole family in the kitchen making a meal. I think it's going to taste that much better because of the quality time spent.
Yeah, I think that it's a big deal, especially as we think about the next one, which is our acts of service. Acts of service again. Like, what is something that we could do for our partner? I think like there's so many different examples. The sous chef thing alone, you could approach your partner and say like, "Hey, can I help you?" Like maybe they feel like they are the ones that always do the cooking, and
Mm,
maybe you can step in and just be like, "Hey, what do you think? Like, if I took over tonight, right? I mean,
yeah,
how awesome would that be?" And
that
let's
would be
just
so
talk about.
awesome.
I mean, let's just talk about Valentine's Day for a second. Everybody always thinks they have to go out or they have to get a reservation. It's almost
Right.
impossible to get reservations. But you know what is readily available, guys, is the produce section in the grocery store. Whole fresh foods, and you can go get them whenever you want. And nothing to me, unless you don't want to cook, unless you're like, look, I'm exhausted, I don't want to cook. Nothing is better than that quality time that you get to spend with that
Yes.
person you love in the kitchen,
And I think that, listen, there's a little bit of preparation here, okay? Depending on if we treat Valentine's Day as such, and that's what we're talking about. We're treating it as this beautiful day, and there's work, there's other things too. But if we can do that little extra bit of prep, whether that's prepping something before or waking up a little bit early, getting a good night's sleep. I know for my wife, nothing would bring more joy to her workday than to wake up, go downstairs, and let's say have a tofu scramble all
Yeah,
ready to go. Tofu
nice.
scramble with spinach, with onions, with mushrooms, some roasted potatoes on the side, sliced tomatoes. I mean, we're talking Valentine's Day, so we have a lot of red, delicious foods that we could throw in there. But really bringing the rainbow is a wonderful way to do it. And quality time and acts of service means what are those little extra steps, what's the little extra attention and prep we can do to alleviate just something, stress, worry, anything from any of our loved ones. So getting up a little bit early to, yes, make a nice smoothie with the favorite berries or a tofu scramble with roasted potatoes. Are you able to get down and prep a quick meal, something as simple as a whole grain pasta, any favorite of your kind with a nice fresh marinara sauce or your favorite oil-free one to purchase in the store? All of those things can go a long way. And I know that when my wife comes down the stairs, whether it's first thing in the morning or after a long day at work, if I can either have a meal almost ready to go or ready to go, that is an act of service that is going to go a long way when it comes to our love.
When we think about acts of service and translating that next, like transitioning that into gifts, what kind of gift do you think that you could make, and how could that gift also incorporate with physical touch as we give this kind of
Mm.
incredible recipe that you've put together?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Listen, when we think of Valentine's Day, I think we think of a lot of things, but we oftentimes think of chocolate, right? Chocolate is obviously big, big market chocolate. But we don't necessarily have to purchase chocolate, again, from a high-end this or that. And especially if we are following that whole food plant-based diet, what's important to know is it's not like you can't have chocolate. It's readily available to you. And one of the recipes that we share on the Forks Over Knives website that is not only a gift to our taste buds and our body as a whole, because we are eating something that is healthier than many of the other options, but also can be incorporate physical touch, is our wonderful chocolate caramel sauce. And honestly, when it comes, when we think of physical touch, personally, for food-wise, feeding fruit, we think about the Greeks and the Romans feeding grapes to each other. But I would love nothing more than to get a chocolate-covered strawberry, just ever so lovingly, pushed in my mouth. Sorry. Hey, you got to expect it. I'm not going to just show this without eating it. But there's a wonderful recipe on the Forks Over Knives website. It's our chocolate caramel sauce. It's very, very simple. It's dates. It's cashews. It's a little bit of flaxseed vanilla extract. And for the recipe link that will be shared in the chat, there's a lot more that you can go. It's super, super easy. Takes about 10 to 20 minutes max. You make a big batch, and to have a chocolate dip that you can enjoy, that hey, you know what? This is healthier than so many other options, and I can incorporate a little bit more of a gift and a touch with my partner. That goes a long way, Corey.
Guys, this dude is so distracted from the amazing.
Sorry, it was really, really good.
He can barely talk. Like, I love it. Okay. So guys, listen, we're going to hook you up with some great recipes. We got you covered. Here's how you do it. You're going to go to the forksoverknives.com website. It's just forksoverknives.com. In the search bar, just type Valentine or Valentines, like whatever you do, you're going to find this blog post. Yeah. And as our producer Bess kind of scrolls through this, you're going to see it's a very vegan Valentine's Day. 30 romantic recipes. I mean, we got you covered, right?
Look at breakfast all the way to dessert.
Unbelievable. And this post is thorough. Like, shout out to Liz on the Forks Over Knives team that puts this together. Absolutely beautiful. Liz, Courtney, your entire team, absolutely incredible magicians to make sure that you guys are set up for success. So, I know it's like, well, Corey and Steven, thanks so much about telling me that I can make food at my house. What the heck am I supposed to make? We got you covered. Okay?
We got you covered.
So it's all right here. And it's gonna be great. So Steven, what else about this blog post? Like, anything else as we kind of like bring the show to a close and get to a couple questions?
I think the most important thing about what Bess is showing you right now with all these recipes is we're taking a look, and nothing seems to be too foreign to us. We're taking a look at different types of meals that we have enjoyed, that we do enjoy: pancakes, brownies, cake, crepes, ravioli, chocolate sauce, risotto. These are delectable, very, very beautifully curated dishes. As you can see, the photos evoke these beautiful colors. Again, I associate that with Valentine's Day. And then we get to enjoy it on our taste buds. I associate that with Valentine's Day. And while we're talking about love and the heart, these are all heart-healthy meals. So it truly is the most heart-focused Valentine's Day that you can have when you enjoy these recipes.
Heck yeah. Well, I want to give a shout out to Linder Scott, who's viewing from St. Louis right now. Thank you so much for tuning in. I also want to say thank you to everyone that's watching. We have 36 people joining us live on the Friday before Valentine's weekend. Of course, Valentine's Day is next week, but we do have the big game coming up. I think a lot of these recipes could apply to the big game as well. So make sure that you go check that out. It's a big Super Sunday, so make sure you're ready to go. And other than that, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Of course, we have multiple things that we have that are, resources and products for you to try, including our Forks meal planner, including our cooking course if you want to get better in the kitchen. And then, of course, we always have our magazines, our Getting Started bundle, the 2023 collection, just tons of stuff. What do you got back there? Oh, the magazines?
Just framing them.
Yeah.
Whatever is your love language resource towards health, whether it is a magazine, whether it is a cookbook, a meal planner, or to get involved in the kitchen even more with a cooking course. Like Corey says, we have you covered.
Hey, Steven, is there a customer service email that they can reach out to reach you and your team? Because if they have any questions about any of that stuff, or they have a question about the blog post or something, we want to make sure that we can support them.
Absolutely. For the little bit of time that we have here today, we love taking a look at the comments and answering whatever we can. But of course, you can always reach us at customer service at forksoverknives.com. Nice and easy. You want customer service from Forks Over Knives? Go to customer service at forksoverknives.com. Send over an email. We are more than happy to share any beneficial information, guidance, and support to support you on your whole food plant-based journey.
As we close out the show, I want to make sure that I answer Linder's question about how often we go live. The answer is every Friday at the same time. No matter what, rain or shine, we're going to be here because it's our commitment to you and you making a whole food plant-based diet easy as possible. So, Stephen, why don't you take us out, my friend?
Take care of the hearts of your loved ones. Take care of your own heart this Valentine's Day. Share the love with a lot of whole food plant-based goodness. And an early happy Valentine's Day to everybody.
See you later, guys.
Bye.